Hi, my name is Pia McAdams, and I want to ask you a question. Are you going through a particularly hard time in life right now? Like, are you struggling over something and you want to come on the other side of it, but you just don't know how? Well, I'm going to give you a tool. I'm going to share with you a tool that will help you. But of course, only if you believe that it will. Before I share this tool with you, I just want to kind of ask you a question. Are you familiar with cars and batteries and the function of a battery in the car? You know, it helps power up the car. And I remember it was like a couple years ago. I um I went into my car and I tried to start it up and it wouldn't start. And so I'm calling a friend of mine and he was like, well, maybe it's your battery. Well, I don't know anything. I'm not a mechanic. So I ended up calling, the mechanic and they came out and he said, he cleaned off the cables and started it. And he said, and of course he did the test and all that. And he said, the cleaning the cable, I can jumpstart you and they'll get you to where you want to go, but you're going to need a new battery. Okay, you just flat out need a new battery. So I said, okay. So I had him jumpstart me because obviously, in order to for me to get a new battery, I had to be able to start my car up so I can go get a new battery. So what I'm sharing with you is that battery for you, is it time for you to change your battery? Instead of cleaning off and focusing on your situation or your story, maybe it's time for you to change it and get another story. So, what is it I'm referring to? What are you talking about, Pia? Well, let me share with you what I'm talking about. What is the story that you are telling yourself around the situation that you are going through? And I can pretty much guarantee that you're telling yourself a sad story or some story that is not serving you, is keeping you in that loop of either depression, sad, anger, whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever that emotion is because you're telling yourself a story around that situation. So, what I'm sharing with you is change your battery, change the story, change the situation, the circumstances, the feelings surrounding whatever it is that you're going through. And I guarantee you, you will come on the other side of it. Now, obviously, depending on what your situation is, it may be something that is so deeply rooted within you that you're not ready to accept that right now. You're not ready to accept that it's that simple of changing the story. So, what I challenge you is start off with something smaller, something that's not necessarily embedded within you, and then use it there. Use the change your story tool there. And then over time, you will see that by changing your story on any situation, it's going to give you a different perspective of it. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to actually change what has happened or what is happening to you. Okay. That's not the point. I want you on the other side of it. To get on the other side of it, you have to be able to go past it and then view it in a different light, a light such that is not going to depress you or sadden you or frustrate you or anger you, all those negative emotions and those negative feelings. All right. So, for example, let's say, let me just think, let's say that you have lost your job. Okay. So you lost your job and now all of a sudden you're depressed, you're stressed because you can't pay your bills. Life is going to change and you're thinking about all the negative things that will happen because you lost your job. And so now you're in that downward spiral of negativity. Because why? Because that's the story that you're telling yourself. That is the negative consequences of you having lost your job, is that this, that, and the other is going to happen. So what I'm saying is change your story. Instead of looking at as I lost my job, therefore I'm not going to have this, that, and the other, change the story to say, I lost my job. Now that opens me up to doing what I really, really want. And if I'm doing what I really, really want and I'm feeling good about it, I'm going to be able to have this, that, and the other. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like if you, and it's basically, it's literally that simple. By changing your story, by changing the things that you tell yourself, it gives you a different perspective. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say that in the same scenario that you lost your job, and so now you're looking for another job. Do you think your chances of finding another job is going to be good with the outlook of dread, anger, stress, and fear because you've lost the job? Or do you think that by having the outlook of positivity, of feeling good, of feeling exciteful, of feeling excitement, of opportunities, which state of mind do you think you're more likely to find another job? Yeah, I think the second one too. So, in other words, change your story around the situations. Although it's not going to change the situation that you're in, it's going to change your outlook. And by changing your outlook, it's going to give you a new perspective. It's going to open up opportunities for you. And isn't that better? Because if you have a choice on staying here, where you're just dreadful and fearful and all that negativity, or here, where there's possibilities, even though you're still here, which state do you think you want to be in? The choice is yours.